Welcome to Reiki. I'm glad you're here. Let's spend some time together. Today's Reiki is a continuation from last week, but it's not really a part two because you don't have to do last week's first and then this week's. But as I was meditating and praying about today's Reiki, it just kept coming to me, Reiki for hard times. So this is going to be Reiki for hard times continued. And if you missed last week's video, I will post it for you in the cards, and I will put a link in the description of today's video. So I invite you to start with breath. Start with breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. I want you to notice your belly while you're breathing. Is your belly moving out and in as you're breathing? If not, let's move the breath to the belly. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And I want you to keep going with that breath pattern here for a minute. Do you ever make plans and then one little thing shifts and it doesn't work out the way that you thought? Or are you in the middle of such a season of hard times that you've actually stopped making plans and you're just day to day right now? Or is your personal life going okay, but you've just noticed a lot of chaos and anger and sadness in the environment around you? Yeah, a friend and I were talking the other night about someone that she knows who is going through an unimaginable grief process after unimaginable tragedy. And she said, you know, what I have going on compared to this sweet woman is nothing. And it makes me feel guilty for worrying about my own troubles and my own hard times. But then we talked about how there's not a hierarchy. That's why we live in community. We're here for each other. Because no matter what our interpretation is of a hard time, there's probably always somebody going through something harder, and that's not really the point, is it? The point is that we are given the opportunity to learn and grow, often through struggles. So that's what we're here to do today, is to honor you in whatever your struggle is or whatever your struggles are, no matter how big or small. Okay, do you still have the belly breath going? I want you to move the breath pattern into your knees. So see if you can breathe into your knees. And we're asking the Reiki energy to move through your knees. Thank you to Reiki and the source of Reiki for the healing that is happening today. Thank you for your unending supply of love and light. Thank you for always being here to support us in good times and bad. Thank you for each person who is participating in this healing and their angels, helpers, guides, light workers, guardians who surround them today, tomorrow, and always. We thank you for being a part of today's healing. Okay, how are your knees feeling? Are you feeling a little connection there with your knees? All right, we're going to move to the ankles. Breathe into the ankles. And if you could imagine a color source coming and swirling around each of your ankles and each of your knees and each of your hips, what color would be sourced around you, would be swirling around you? So as you're breathing into the ankles, seeing a color source perhaps around your ankles and knees and hips. And I'm going to invite you not to judge whatever it is that you're seeing, whatever the color is. Just notice. And see if there's any shifts there in your knees, ankles, or hips. Can you breathe into your hips? We're going to ask for the energy of love and compassion to go right into your hips. And if we have anything going on there with grievances or anger, we're going to ask for an unwinding there. And I'm actually going to go get a tool to help us with unwinding of anything from the lower part of the body, from the hips down, that is weighing us down and causing us to not live our best life to the highest expression of our potential. So I'm going to go grab my pendulum, my little tool, and we're going to ask this tool to work with us to unwind anything from the hips down that is stuck in our energy body, kind of causing us to remain in a state of anger or disappointment or disgust. So as this Reiki is flowing and unwinding, if you'd like, I invite you to bring in your conscious mind and just ask, what is letting go right now? What is letting go right now? What is letting go right now? And if you can breathe with that process of letting go, it might be quite helpful. I'm actually going to change the camera angle here for a minute as all of this is unwinding, so that you can be focused on your own unwinding here with the letting go process. As we continue to unwind and let go, I invite you to go back to that belly breath and see what can be let go from the belly. So we're asking the Reiki energy to unwind any tension, trauma, Bargaining is what I'm hearing. Do you ever bargain? Moving into the heart space, letting go of tension and trauma in the heart space. The neck and the shoulders. Into the thinking mind. What is ready to be released and let go from the thinking mind? Now we're just going to imagine a white light from above your head. It's coming in through the folds of your brain and your eyes and your ears, your nose and your mouth and your throat, to your heart space and your chest, down your arms and hands and wrists and fingers, to your solar plexus and your belly, and hips and down your legs, and to your feet. Okay. So now that we have taken some time to breathe and unwind, we're going to ask the Reiki energy to fill up any spaces that were just released from the energies that are weighing us down or making us feel like we can't move sometimes, like we don't know the step forward. So we're asking to bring in some light. So I'm going to ask you to scan your own body right now. To scan your body means that you are thinking about how individual parts of your body feel. And the first one that highlights to you, I want you to be open and willing to accept Reiki healing energy directly into that spot in the body. Now, I'm going to encourage you not to think too much about it because your logical mind might know where a problem is, but your intuitive mind might have just told you something that you weren't expecting. I say go with your intuitive mind. And as you feel the body absorb the Reiki in that spot, like we talked about in the other video last week, you might feel a shift or sense a shift or imagine a shift. So when you feel that shift in the energy, whether that's what we call like a Reiki bump, kind of the muscles could twitch, or you feel warm or cool, or you just feel like a relaxing of that spot, you sense a color change, like a little breeze in the room. When that shift happens, scan the body again for the next spot that is ready to receive the Reiki directly. And then spend some time breathing and being willing to have Reiki, universal life force energy, come directly into that spot. Some of you are going to shift your energy really quickly, and some of you might have something that is pretty stuck, kind of been there for a long time. So try really hard not to judge yourself if you're still in that same sticky spot. Some of you have a little spot that you think has been healed, and then it pops back up again, right? Like a layer of an onion popping back up again. So just surround yourself with compassion and non-judgment, and allow the Reiki to do its thing without you trying to control it, manipulate it, judge it, question it. Just be in a state of allowing. And again, as the energy shifts in each spot, just ask if there's a new spot, okay? This can include the physical body, a sticky spot in the physical body. This can include a sticky spot in the emotional body. Are your emotions getting the best of you? Ooh, that could mean two things, couldn't it? So in the area where I live, we say that to mean our emotions. Are your emotions getting the best of you? That means that like you feel a little bit out of control with your emotions. But let's think about what else that could mean. Are you bringing your best to support your emotions? That's interesting, isn't it? Are your emotions getting the best energy that you can provide them? That's what we're doing now. What about your attitude and your mental processing? Is there anything sticky in there, anything shifting? Okay. We're going to take just a few moments here to send Reiki to an ideal outcome or an ideal situation. So when we spent time together last week, we placed the people, problems, situations, struggles into our hand and sent Reiki to the struggles, to the hard times, to the anxiety, to the pain, to the frustration. And for this one, I want to do something a little bit different. I want you to imagine a really positive outcome from your current situation, your current struggle. So just take some time here to imagine a really good outcome. We're asking the Reiki to infuse into your vision I want you to imagine what it would feel like to have a good outcome, and we're asking the Reiki to help you feel what it would feel like if this were resolved in a good way. Allow your heart to be filled with the feelings that would come with good resolution. And your brain, your mind, how would it feel if it weren't swirling with concern? Imagine how the brain would relax and probably start functioning a lot better. Sending Reiki to the brain right now. What about the physical body? Can you imagine the resolution of how the physical body would do? With this Reiki support. Now I'm going to continue to ask the Reiki energy to flow through my hands as I'm saying some words of gratitude for Reiki. Reiki, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you to the source of Reiki. And while I continue to channel some Reiki here for you at the end of the session, you continue to breathe wherever you're guided to breathe, maybe in the heart space. Imagine the breath coming in and out of the heart with the Reiki energy coming in and out of the heart, or perhaps out of the third eye, or in and out of the shoulders. I want to remind you of something that you already know if you have been on this planet for more than a minute. And that is that whatever we envisioned here, however we envisioned this being resolved, does not necessarily mean that that's the way that the energy is going to be resolved, right? So I'm just going to be open and honest, and I'm asking you to be open and honest. Remembering that sometimes things are resolved not in the way that we wish, but they're still resolved. And we move forward with that resolution in wisdom and grace and gratitude. Wisdom and grace and gratitude be yours today, tomorrow, and always. Namaste. My name is Jennifer Hall. It is such an honor and a privilege to get to share Reiki healing energy with you here on YouTube. I do offer classes and private sessions. So if I can be of support to you, don't hesitate to reach out. Jennifer at Reflect Your Light. Until next time, the light in me recognizes and bows to the light in you. Namaste.